This is Val Campbell. I would like to congratulate you for taking the time to join us to chat about something that just might change your life. I say that because it changed mine. I spent a lot of years in the business world, mostly in ownership and management. And it wasn't until I saw a different financial model a few years ago that I really understood that we have a better option today than the one our parents and grandparents had. What happened is that I met a guy that made more in 1 week than I made in a year. What really shocked me was that it only cost him a few dollars to get started, and I had hundreds of thousands of dollars invested in my business. He had no employees, no loans, no buildings, no fleet of vehicles, no inventory, no accounts receivable to collect, and no accounts payable to pay, and no lawyers. Oh, I'm sorry, that's the wrong slide. Let's see. There we go. There are the lawyers. Sorry, I couldn't resist. I think the thing that really bothered me was that I had heard about this kind of deal before, and I had discarded it as not being a real business. He didn't. I guess one of us was quick and the other one was slow. I'd like to share with you right now what he showed me then. If you don't like our idea, that's fine. You can stick with being used by a real business. Some people call it being employed by one. Have you wondered why you hear a lot about companies trying to keep their employees happy, to keep them motivated, to feel appreciated and valued? Why don't we hear about them making their employees financially independent? Why not making them rich? Well, I think that's obvious, because employees are paid according to market competition. And right now we're competing with Vietnam and India. We aren't looking to convince you against your will, but if you've been thinking that you want more time, or that things just don't seem to be working like they used to, that times are tougher, or you're concerned that things might get tougher and that what you're currently doing might not see you through that, then keep an open mind as we show you something that is designed for you and not somebody that employs you. If any organism on this planet wants to survive, it must consume. That's the basic element of all life. That is what economics is, the study of consuming, specifically the availability or scarcity of consumable items. We can make it more complicated than that, and people usually do make things complicated, but it really is that simple. We consume. And in order to consume, we need to be able to acquire what we need. That's why money was invented, as a medium of exchange to make acquisition easier. Humans have a natural drive to acquire. That drive is based on the fact that occasionally resources become scarce, and we've learned to store up in times of plenty in order to make it through the tough seasons. Of course, there really haven't been many tough seasons in our country in the past few hundred years. But that could change. What makes tough times tough is that people aren't prepared for them. And I can tell you that most people in this country aren't prepared for much. That's the other thing about tough times. They aren't expected. If you knew they were coming, you would be prepared. In the past few years, things certainly have changed for many individuals. And there are a lot of people out there right now that are experiencing a season of challenge in their life. To ease the effects of these changes, the government has been printing money. And that really concerns me. I just don't think it's beneficial in the long run to encourage people not to adapt to change. And then there's the whole discussion about making our money worthless by inflation. But that's a topic for another time. In fact, there are 100 million people in North America alone that say they're unhappy with their economic situation. They aren't complaining that things are too good if that's what you're worried about. I don't think you hear too many conversations like this one. Hey, Mabel, I told you to get rid of some of these hundreds. They're all over the place. I can't even find anywhere to sit. No, I don't think we're hearing that argument these days. Times are tough. People want things to be better. For instance, 53% of college students cannot find significant employment. Yet colleges continue to produce graduates. It's an industry, and graduates are their product. Plus, it's supported by the government. They just print more money. The average term of employment is currently less than 4 years, and 96% of businesses don't make it to their 10th year. 2/3 of the people over the age of 50 become unemployed, and that period lasts more than 1 year. When they regain employment, it is for an average of 60% of what they earned before, just a little more than half. That's pretty tough. 20% of the people over the age of 50 are unemployed, and the government doesn't believe they will ever find employment again. Think about that. At current life expectancies, it means that these people worked for about 30 years, raising kids, paying a mortgage, and just when they started to get to enjoy their life, they can expect 33 years of financial difficulty. And we can discuss all the possible reasons, but all that really matters is that a lot of people are hurting and many are looking for help. But wait, not all the facts are grim. Some are really exciting. E-commerce will experience a 500% increase in some markets in the next 5 years. I recently did a Google search for people making money on eBay, and the search returned 58 million results. That's 58 million conversations about just one online opportunity. The home office market will add nearly 2 million home-based businesses by 2015, with over 450,000 net new home-based businesses per year in 2013 and 2014. Now that's pretty exciting stuff if you're in the business of home-based businesses. Our opportunity is going to be in 100 countries in the next decade or so. It all starts for you right now with this opportunity to join a team and change something simple, starting with something you consume. It's not doomsday, it's about change. Some things are in decline and others are ascending. That's what change brings, new and better ways of solving economic needs. Just be sure you're participating in the future. It's okay if what you're doing is working and you want to stick with that. But you might want to think about whether it will continue to do well in the face of change and international competition. What happens to your business or your job if the economy takes a serious hit? Perhaps this is the time to think about a plan B. You carry a spare tire, don't you? You probably haven't had a flat in years, but it would be crazy not to have some safety net. Why not diversify yourself against possible challenges ahead? Just like we're now experiencing, the start of the last decade saw many changes. Horses were replaced by cars, and abundant energy brought opportunities to our world. This affected some people positively and some not so well. Some didn't take advantage of what was in front of them, and by the time they were struggling, the window of great opportunity was past. When change happens, there are always some people that don't adapt. They hold back. Others race ahead and get themselves positioned where the future is going to allow them the most benefit. One of the issues we face today is that the employer-employment model is not being very effective in meeting people's dreams. That's true on both sides of the equation. Many owners are just as frustrated as their employees. That's obvious, isn't it? Yet some people still keep going back to that same dry well over and over. They lose a job, they go back look for another job. It's what we know. It's what we're taught. But 33 years of financial struggle to end your life is not a fun thing to look forward to. That isn't the golden years we were promised. Are you going to ride it out until it's your turn to be kicked to the curb, or are you going to do something to prevent that possibility? I want to ask you two questions. Can we agree that in a job you're controlled for the benefit of the employer? You're told when to show up and where to show up and what to do and what not to do, and ultimately when you can leave and how long you can even be gone. My next question, and this strikes hard at the heart of the matter. Can you ever hope to become financially free through a vehicle where you are controlled for the benefit of someone else? No, you can't. 98% chance of financial failure in a job, and I didn't create that statistic. That comes from the Social Security Administration. Jobs aren't bad, but they are temporary parts of a hierarchy. Do you know that the word employ means to use? I know that's harsh, but it's true. Employees are tools that are used at the lowest market cost to meet the needs of business. Just think about it. How many employees have been replaced by robots? I'm sorry, they're tools. If you're an employee, you are controlled, but so are the owners who have to be there to provide control. Plus, they have to pay to support the overhead of the business no matter how much business activity there is. and the government is making it more and more difficult every year. Instead of something temporary and limiting, would you like to see a plan that's specifically designed to meet your needs for financial stability? Something that's not a hierarchy? It's called networking. This is not something we're taught in school because the school system is designed to support the job market. You know, get a good education and get a good job. That's what my grandfather always told me. But there's another way. You can join together with other people who are looking to be empowered and find a basic commodity to consume and share in the process of making profits. I'm going to repeat that because it's really important. This is what we do. We join other people, we consume something basic, and we share the profits. Wow. Let me explain. We just said that the most basic economic process is consuming. So if we could find a company with a basic commodity which would sell directly to the consumers and not use the expensive retail distribution system, that would save about 80% of the cost of the product. Now, if that company set aside a large portion of that savings to be passed back into the group to reward purchases and encourage us to grow the group, we could generate a huge pile of money to be shared. If that company kept part of the savings, it would be more successful and more stable, which would benefit both the company and the consumers that employ it for their benefit. It's that simple. Consume something basic, take advantage of a fair legal reward system that incentivizes referrals that would allow you to own a position in that network. To own a position. This is called royalties, the ownership of consuming. If you pick the right product, the right company, and the right reward plan, this would be the safest, most secure, most diverse income source in the world. Eventually, you would be paid on the consuming of hundreds of thousands or even millions of people all over the world. Right now, we're sharing that exact opportunity with you to join with us as we build this consumer network so you and we can own the global rights to consumption. We can demonstrate that this is the single best situation for personal economics in the world today, and we're inviting you to join us. Think about how it might fit into your life, but please keep a couple of things in mind. First, there's no risk. We just change something we consume from one brand that doesn't pay us to another that does. Then we simply consume products and tell others, and there are many ways that we can tell others. Social media, internet, videos, emails, but most of all, casual gatherings of friends where we can chat about a simple plan that provides a better source of income. Nothing could be more natural and easy, especially since our primary product is coffee. Now, how often do we gather together, share some coffee, and talk about things? All the time. Second, we have the greatest team that has ever been assembled to help you. We come here with decades of experience, drawn by the amazing opportunity of global coffee markets, the second largest traded commodity in the world, and the best reward plan ever created, ever. No matter what your situation is today, you can take advantage of this opportunity. Third, this compensation plan, the reward system, is set up to encourage growth by sharing. It's a special blend of two different kinds of plans that have been shown to explode markets, provide quick income, and create long-term wealth. The people that got in ahead of you are going to build out this market below you, and you can help. The people that get in after you will contribute to your income. If you don't jump in today, the people that get in between now and when you do start will become thousands in a few years. And thousands in this business means financial freedom. Do you want to be looking up at thousands or down at thousands? Don't delay. In fact, I would say the only risk you have is that you might not join us in what we're doing. You can start drinking coffee today, and step by step, in a 2 or 3 year time frame, you can be financially independent. If you don't drink coffee, we have other products for you to use. We just need to consume something because that's the basic economic building block that drives what we do, just like any other business. If you are currently employed, we can show you how to bring home more of your employment income to help you build your business. The government allows people with home-based businesses to keep more of their money just for that reason. And no business converts as much of your lifestyle into tax deductions as a consumer network does. If you're unemployed, we have money-making systems to help you too, probably allowing you to replace your income long before you'll replace your job. This isn't money for nothing. You'll have to make some changes in your life. You'll have to learn a few simple skills and develop a new habit or two. Because if you don't change something, your situation won't change. But millions of people have done this before, and millions will come after you in this business no matter what you decide today. We are professionals. Driving consumer markets is what we do. Even if you decide not to join us, we're moving forward. What you have to decide is if you want to spend the rest of your life controlled, or do you want to come with us and break free? And that's it. It's just that simple. Watch this illustration of how something that starts with one or two people can build into something very large in a short period of time. Watch as the first person starts lighting these candles. There are about 2,000 people in this auditorium. Watch how it happens. Slowly at first. 1, 2, 4, then 8, then 16. You'll notice that most of the way through the video there still aren't a lot of candles lit. Then at one point there are about 200 candles burning. Watch them, little by little, going through the room. 1s, 2s, 4s. At one point it only takes about 4 steps to complete all of the candles being lit, because exponential math takes over. 200 becomes 400, 400 becomes 8, and shortly after that all of them are lit up. Now we're going to take a minute and answer your questions and give you some details about the products we're using and the company we employ for our benefit. Think about how many people in the world are looking for a better solution. That's one of our best products, the opportunity. And think about how many consume these products. Millions all over the world every minute of the day. And one more thing. Welcome to Team One Power Play, and welcome to Sozo.